Hi there, it's Patmos, and nice of you to join me for a new game, this time going medieval. And I have set everything up already, so we don't have to go through that, because I can take a long time doing that. But here is the summary, so here we can see, just before we begin, what I have set up. We're going to play a standard game, normal difficulty. So we do experience enemy raids and environmental things, but well, not too many. We start a new life, so each settler has a background story, and then we can just start to play around. And we play in a valley map. Everything is pretty flat, and that makes it a little bit easier to build. Now I've set up 3 people. They all have their own good and bad things. You can see that right here, but we'll get talking about that while we are playing the game. And I'd say let's just get going. So let's embark on this adventure. Now, of course, this game is a little bit different than what you used to know from me. I am mostly playing city building games where you have to build a whole city. And this is somewhere in between that, because we're not going to build a whole city, but we have to build our own, I don't know, building, keep, castle, whatever. And well, it's time to begin. So I'll pause the game right here. So here we have our map. As you can see, there are edges, so you can't go anywhere. This is just it. And well, there are all these resources on the ground, trees, etc. Here we have our own piece of land, stockpile with some stuff that we can use, and there are 3 people. Now, one of the most important things in this game is setting everything up. That means that we have to go by a few screens. Now, if you watch every person, you can see there's all these skills, and they all have different skills and skill levels. You can see by the number how good they are in a certain skill, and the stars will tell you how excited they are about a skill. So this guy has mining skill level 6, but he has 2 stars there, meaning that he will learn very fast. So he will learn 4 times faster in this skill. Now I've picked 2 people with the mining skill because we're going to build an underground base. I've done a lot of work on this game, trying things out, and especially if you progress through the days and through the years, the raids will get more complicated. People will attack you with trebuchets, etc. And if you have a big base above ground, well, it can be pretty tough. And if you build it underground, that's much safer. So that's what we're going to do. And well, we'll just go along and we'll see and find out what we can do this time. Now, what I'm going to do first is assign everyone a job. You have all these jobs here, and you can assign priority to them, 1 to 5. So now each job is prioritized as the same priority, and they will now be prioritized left to right. So if there's something to construct, they will first see if they have to tend somebody's wounds, then they will see if they have to lay down and tend their own wounds, then they will see, do I have to hunt? No. If all of these are no, then the guy will start constructing. Now you can switch these around, so you can just click this one with the left mouse button, for instance, and now they will first see if they have to mine. If there's nothing to mine, then they will start with all the numbers 3 from left to right. So that is a way that you can prioritize jobs. And we're going to do a lot of mining. We have to do construction. So what I usually do is I set these to level 1, because it's very important that if they get hurt, they lay down and make sure that they get better. And of course the others need to take care of them. So that is really important. And then of course we need people to construct. We're not going to grow anything yet. We're not going to harvest a lot, so I'm not going to prioritize those. We are going to do a lot of mining. We need to be doing some cutting of plants because we need a lot of wood. So I'm going to tell this guy, even though it is not his favorite skill, I'm going to tell him to do that because the other 2 will be mining. We need to do some cooking in the end and some smithing and carpentry, but that's all not yet. We don't have a woodworking bench, we don't have a bowyer's table, so that's not going to happen. So we're going to go to this screen quite a lot and change numbers around. Now we need them on a working schedule. They need to sleep, they need to have time for themselves, they need to work. And what I'd like to do is they have 5 hours of sleep here. We'll make that 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we give them some time off because that's important for them, that they can do whatever they want. And the rest will be working time. Now, of course, there's different opinions about this. You can have them all on a different schedule so that you have always one working. You can just have them all working at the same time. It doesn't really matter. They will all have the same work hours in the end. So whether they work all together or just one or two, the spread over the day, they get the same amount of work done, so it's not that important. So what we need to do now is clear an area because I want some trees, I want wood. So let's start with that. And we'll get time going, so they start walking. Now you can see these little hands over here. That means that they can't touch these, so we'll give them free. Now they can touch all this and use it to do some construction. And I'm going to pause again because we're going to begin construction. Now this stuff is lying on the ground and it's about to decompose. This is cabbage, and it's about to decompose in 10 days because of the ground type and the temperature that it is. And one of the important things is everything needs a floor. So right here we have a storage pile because, well, this is all our storage. And what we're going to do is build a wooden floor under it so things will stay healthy longer. Otherwise they will decay and it's just gone. So if the cabbages decays, they can't eat it anymore. And if you build a floor under it, it will go longer. And of course we assign it as a stockpile. Now I don't want any waste in there or carcasses, but the rest they can put in. And now this is all in stockpile. You can see it here. It's now in stock. So now you can see how much we have. And now we need to start building our base. And to do that, I want to check the area a bit. Well, this looks good. All right. Now we're going to build an underground base, so we need to do two things. We need to assign an area where we will go underground. And around that we will build a little wooden shack where we can sleep until our underground base is done. So it doesn't really matter to me where we go underground, although these are mineable resources later on, so that'll be good. So I think we're going to go this way, and we will build our base somewhere here underground. We need an entrance somewhere, so I'll build it right here. I need to cut down these 4 pieces, then we can put a stair in there, and then go down, and we can build our base around it. Now we will build our base with wooden walls. Let's see, here's the entrance. We'll place a door in front of it. And the fun thing about this game is everything is modular, so you have all these little things that you can just build around. You can let your imagination go, and that's a lot of fun. And I really enjoy that. Alright, let's see, this should be 10 wide. Oh, this is not supposed to be there. And we're going to build around our stairs to protect it. So in case of a raid, they can't just run on the stairs and get down there into our secret base underground. We'll protect it. So here we go. We have a door in there. Let's put windows in there as well, just because I like it. And of course it needs a floor. So let's build some flooring around the area they're going to be cutting, of course. Well, this is the basic setup for a little house, so let's get time going. We'll put it on speed 2. And now we'll see. Let's go check the job. We have 2 guys in construction, so they should start working on the construction. Now this is also the guy that's going to be cutting plants. So we'll see how that works out. Especially now, in the beginning, there's a lot of food lying around. So mushrooms we can eat, there's berries. Although these are ripe, these still have to mature. But yeah, we can tell them to harvest these later on, to get some extra food. That'll be nice. Now in the beginning of the game, of course, you can imagine, you only have 3 people. There's only a limited amount of work you can do. So don't start to build an entire base and then give everything free and let them do it, because that'll going to take a long time. Always do it step by step. And us building a complete house and a stockpile, etc., is already a lot of work. So yeah, this is about what you can give them in tasks if you want them all to be done. There's one more thing we need to do. We need to give them a sleeping place. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now they'll have 4 sleeping places as soon as they're done. And well, those are kind of the basics. You need a house, you need to give them a place to sleep. And we can check right here. This is their mood, they're pretty happy now. But yeah, they need to sleep, they need food, we have food. They need a religious activity, we'll get to that later on. They need alcohol, we still have some alcohol there. And they need entertainment. And that's all you have to do to keep them happy. Now they really like to sleep on a bed. This isn't a very good bed, but at least it's something. Still out in the open though. We didn't give this building a roof yet, but that's okay. It's spring. They can sleep in the outdoors. As you can see, this guy is done cutting. So it's time for us to put a staircase in there. Just so that they can walk down here. Now I've already created a mistake. We need to get rid of these two as well. Otherwise we can't put in another staircase. Because right now we're just a floor down. That means that if we continue to cut, we will just be on the surface. So we need to go one level down. So we need to build another stairs further down to get everything done. Alright, let's play speed 3 for now. So, well, this is basically what you'll be doing this game. You need to construct a lot of buildings, just the way you please and in any shape you want. And you'll manage your people. You'll be gathering stuff. You have to grow your own stuff. You have to do a lot of different things. And, well, you can have a lot of fun with this game. At least I've been having a lot of fun so far. And I'm thinking you will too. Now, because of low skill, things can go wrong. So this guy is only botany skill level 1 now, so it could very well be that if he tries to harvest anything, things will go wrong. That's okay. The more they do something, the better they get at it. And, well, the better it will be and look, etc. So don't worry about it. That'll all be fine. Alright, let's get rid of this flooring. And they can really cut. There they go. Perfect. Now he starts to dig. Very good. We can put that flooring in later, that's no problem. There we go. We just need one more. And now comes the tricky part. Because we need, underneath here, we have to remove 3 places to make sure that we can build a stair down there and get a level lower. Now, you can just assign this whole area to be done, and then the guy will start here and end up being stuck there. So I'll just select this one. He can go up there, cut it, and then we'll do that one, and then we'll do that one, so he won't get stuck down there and starve to death or something, because, well, that won't be good. Now it's almost time they go to sleep. They're exhausted, and you will see as soon as it's sleeping time, they will go to bed. There he goes. Now he's sleeping in a nice cozy bed. Sleep thing will be filled up again, so that's good. They tend to not like sleeping outdoors, and this is still outdoors because there's no roof. But they'll be happy that they share a quarter, so that'll keep them happy. And yeah, we survived our first day. Now, as you can see in the stockpile, there's weapons lying around there. And we need to equip our people with weapons, of course, to defend themselves in case of a raid. Now, you can do that right here with the manage area. You can give them anything you want. Now, what I would like to do, ranged weapons are very powerful, especially if you have defenses. So if we build a platform on here which they can stand on and enemies come close to our building, then they can, of course, hit them with arrows, which is pretty powerful. But you need to be a good marksman, and that's a skill you can see in the list right there in the middle. This guy has marksman skill level 12, level 5 and level 3. None of them has it as a favorite skill, so this guy will get a ranged weapon because he is the best. With that, we'll give this guy a one-handed and a two-handed weapon. Now, of course, if you have a bow, you don't need a shield. These guys can take all the shields there is. They can all take all the headgear, I don't really mind. And they can all take... Oh, the guy with the bow doesn't need armor, the other guys need armor. Now they will also equip themselves with stuff. And later on, if you get raided and you kill people, you can take their stuff or you can create your own, that's all fine. Meal preparation is missing. We need a way to make a meal. Well, that's pretty easy. Just get a campfire and they can make their own meals. Now there's also all different kinds of production buildings that we will be needing in the end. So we're going to build them. And we need a research table in order to be able to do some research and improve ourselves. So let's build that. We don't need a butchering table yet because we won't be doing a lot of hunting. Now we need to keep our people happy. And, well, they can be pretty religious. So you need a religious building. The Church of the Restitution. Well, we'll build that right there. And we need one if they have another religion. There can be 2 religions. And of course we need to give them something to keep them happy by having time to play. Now if you do those, they'll be very happy, because you can see they need entertainment and religious activity. So if here is already praying, so don't forget to give them some things to do, leisure time, and to give them a religious activity. That's why this leisure time in the schedule is so important. They need some time off to stay happy and to do whatever they want. Now we're out of wood. We don't have any new trees selected. So let's cut down these trees so they can finish the leisure activities. And now, because of the research table, we have research available. And we start up with an architectural wooden beam, which we are going to need if we're going to build underground. So that's a very good thing. This hole is being cut, by the way, so let's do the next one. And once that one is done, we will do this one as well. That should help us get underground. Some settlers are idle. Well, let me tell you something about production. If you click this, there's nothing in the production queue, so nothing will be done. So we'll have to start producing something. Here we can produce meals. Now, they need resources for that. You can see right here what. They need 12 cooking materials, doesn't really matter what. And they need 1 fuel, which can just be sticks or whatever, which you will have plenty of. Now you can just set a fixed amount, and once that's done they'll stop. You can just tell them to start making meals forever, or you can tell them, well, make meals until you have a certain amount, then stop, and as soon as it drops below that you can start working again. I'd like to do that, and since it's just the beginning of the game, we will have plenty of food by just 20 meals. So now they'll make meals until we have 20, and then they'll stop and do different things. That's a way to keep your villagers freed, so that when they need to be doing something else, they can. Now, same goes with research. We'll do a lot of research, and they will now just get us 50 research points, and then they'll stop. Now, this is done, so we need to do 1 more, and then we can go down underground, which will be a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it's also a lot of fun. Now, we have created our first meals. They've been brought to the stockpile. You can see them right here. They made a stew, which is nice. But it also produces waste, and we need to get rid of the waste. So all you need to do for that is create a waste stockpile. This is the dumping stockpile. I'll put it right here. So there they can put their waste and their carcasses, so you don't get a messy surroundings here. You can just clean it. There's even people that don't like all the mess around, so it's quite important to get rid of the mess to keep your villagers happy. Now, of course, we're going to build another stairs here. I have to place it correctly. I think this should be right. And now they can build another stairs, and then we can start to really cut underground. I can already tell them to cut that piece. That'll be fine. And then we'll see. Let's start working on our underground base. Now, of course, we need a roof on this building, but we also need to be able to get up there. So what I'd like to do is place a stairs somewhere here. I think right here. We need to place a big wooden beam to support a floor. And then what we can do is we can put walls on here. Another set of wooden walls if we want to, but I don't really want walls. So what I'm going to do is just lay a flooring above it. And now we get a big shut-off area, which will keep everyone very happy. Let's cut some extra trees to supply all the wood for that. And now they can sleep inside, stay dry, stay warm. And we can use this as a defense platform as soon as we start to be attacked. Now, of course, they're cutting wood right now. Let's get rid of the roof. Oh, it's a floor, so we can't get rid of that. So what we're going to do now is going to go underground. You hit the control button and use your mouse wheel to go layer by layer. See, we can lower the ground. Perfect. Here we are. And here we are underground. Here we can see the first stairs, the second stairs, and this will be the underground area. Now, one of the things I think they need to work on is the depth. You can still see the people, but they're above ground. And now we can start to lay out the foundations for our underground base. So let's see. They come off the stairs. I think we need to place a door somewhere. I think somewhere here. And then we can go sideways and just make nice buildings. Now, it's a bit tricky if you haven't done this before. I've been trying a bit with this. But it can be a little bit tricky to get everything right the first time. But we're going to set up a room here and then connect it. So people come off the stairs, and yeah, we can probably do it right here. We'll go 3 this way and 3 that way, and then we will build a room here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 this way, 5 that way. So it will be 10 by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, now we can just do this. So this room will be 10 by 10. But think about this. If you build a room like this, there's a big open space with a lot of ground above it. That's correct. Things might come down. So don't just make a big hole in here, but make sure that you can have some support in there. So for instance, you can just tell, well, let's not cut all this out, but let's keep some space. Now what I like to do is keep these 4 open, and as soon as they cut all the spaces here, we can build wooden beams in there, because it just looks nice and it will support the roofing so that the whole thing won't come down. Now this will be the first room they're going to build. We're going to get up again. They're all sleeping, or at least they should be. Yeah, there he goes. And as soon as they wake up, they should be working on the roofing, or well, it's a floor, but we use it as a roof. And they should be starting to cut the floor. Day 3 have started, so we did quite well on the first few days. We are having a nice structure. It's almost closed up, and we're going to start building our underground base. So that, yeah, I like it. Now you can see, if you hold your mouse just somewhere outside, you can see on the top of your screen how warm it is. It's 11.2 degrees, it's clear, so there's no fog, it's spring, so there's a lot of data here. If you go inside your building, which we can, I'll zoom in a bit, or lower the layers here, you can use these buttons. They'll just get you a layer down. You can see in here it's 14 degrees, so it's the same temperature as outside, which means in winter it will get really cold here. But one of the things you can just do is make sure that you get some heating in here. So if we place this in here, for instance, and it's lighted up, then you can get the temperature up. That's also good to know for when you are building underground. It's pretty cold underground, so you need to heat those rooms. But you will be less susceptible to the weather changes outside. And especially in winter, it can be very cold, and settlers get cold very quickly, and then they can get unconscious, etc. And if you make sure that they don't get unconscious and they can keep working on the ground, then you can do a lot more work and you won't mind the cold that much. So it's very powerful to build your base underground and regulate the temperature, because that can really help you to make sure that everyone stays busy and that you can keep developing. I've had times in which I had to keep my settlers indoor when I had an above ground base, and I have to keep them indoor all the time to keep them warm. So you put a lot of leisure time in, you give them a lot of time to sleep, but then you're not productive. And underground, where you can regulate the temperature, they can be really productive. Now as you can see, they're all constructing first, so they're trying to make this done, which is good because, well, around day 5 we can expect our first attack. Usually, so it'll be very good to see that we can deal with that by having this done. So we have a defense platform for our archer to stand on, and hopefully we can defend ourselves then. Alright, these are ripening, then we can harvest them. They'll give us some extra food. There's some extra mushrooms there, so don't forget to tend to some extra food every now and then. You can really use it. Alright, they're almost done. Which means one of them should also be starting to work on cutting down here. Now, they don't have enough wood yet for this stairs. Well, they're cutting trees, so now they'll be able to build this. Or at least they should be. And then we can start to cut underground. There he goes. Perfect. He's building the stairs now. Yep. There they go. So now we can really get underground. Perfect. There he goes. We really start to produce our underground base now. But it's almost sleeping time, so we'll see. At least we got the basic steps done. We have an enclosed space. so they'll be happy. And, well, they can go to sleep again. I'll lower the things a bit so you can see. It's 5 degrees outside now, and it's 12 degrees inside, thanks to this heater. It's also cold inside now, so because of the roofing that we put in, or it's a floor, but it acts like a roof, this is now cold inside, and they'll be happy to be sleeping inside, so that's a good thing. Our stockpile's getting a bit empty, but that's okay. We have all we need right now to do what we want. And this guy actually is pretty happy. He's in a very good mood. See, he slept in a shared quarters. That's what he likes. And we don't get a negative number for sleeping outside. So that's good. They're all pretty happy. They've fully slept, so that's good. They're fulfilling their religious activities, doing some entertainment. So yeah, they're all happy. And they're starting to work again. There they go. Perfect. Now what I like to do just for safety is put in a few wooden beams every now and then, just to make sure that nothing bad can happen. Of course we will build it room by room. If you can put out a whole layout here and just have them work on it, but it is not set that they will do room by room, so I just point out one room, have them work there, and once it's done we'll go on to the next. What I also like to do is make sure that we have doors for protection. So if you put a door in there, and a wooden beam of course, that will ensure that nothing will come down, so the ground won't hit you while they're working. And of course you can lock your doors, so when the enemy comes it'll be something to slow them down a little bit extra, which is good. So always put in doors. And if we heat this room with heaters, then the heat won't go away because of all the doors we built, so that's a good thing as well. And we're really starting to cut their way, and we're getting clay out of that, so that's nice. Clay we can use later on for bricks, which are very strong. And one of the things we'll do later on is get rid of this wooden structure and place a brick structure on top of it. Now, as you can see, they're all busy mining, and that has to do with the schedule, with jobs, because mining, 2 of them got priority. But this one doesn't. But we also need food, and I think I want one cooking. But this is a number 3, this is a number 3, and they will go from left to right, so he's going to mine first. So let's give this a higher priority to cooking, so now he will start to cook stuff. And we have to give him a higher priority to harvesting, so he will be harvesting all these berries and making food out of it. So let's do it like that, and as soon as he's done, this time it's Christian, he should be going away. Yes, there he goes. And he's going to start harvesting, and after that he will start cooking. So that's how you play around with these. If you want everyone to do some mining, just give it priority 1 and they will all go mining. And later on, if you want to change that again, switch it around, play with these numbers. There could be times, for instance, where you want everyone to just haul what you've get to the stockpile. Just give the whole number 1 priority, and they will all start to haul the stuff towards the stockpile. So that's how you can play with all these numbers. For now this is fine, so I'll keep it like this. This guy will prepare all the food, and these guys can do all the cutting. And every now and then they will have to do some construction, but that's fine. Now you can see it goes pretty fast. So let's start working on a few of these support beams that I had in mind. It's pretty cold down here, minus 2.6 degrees, so you can see, even though outside it's 7.1 above ground, it's still freezing here, so they can get cold. So at some point we will have to give them something to stay warm, and we will. Just not right now, we don't really need to, it's not that cold yet. And of course right here you can see what they're doing. So Christian is preparing food, they're now going to sleep. There they are. And I'm going to pause the game because, well, this will end our first episode. It's been almost half an hour. I hope you had some fun watching this. And of course we will be continuing this because I will do a whole series about this. And, well, this won't be your standard tutorial series. I'm not explaining everything. I'm just showing you what you can do with the game and have some fun playing it. If you have any suggestions or things, just leave them in the comment section. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel. And of course, I hope to see you in another video. Thank you very much. Bye bye.